As the final buzzer sounded at Scotiabank Arena, disappointment washed over the crowd. The scoreboard showed a 6-1 win for the Florida Panthers, leaving the Toronto Maple Leafs, Drake's favorite team, defeated in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference second round. Fans clad in blue and white slowly made their way to the exits, their cheers silenced and hopes shattered. Among them were Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey, mere onlookers amid the widespread gloom. For Aubrey Drake Graham, however, this loss was particularly painful. Rumors suggested he had placed a substantial bet of $1 million on the Leafs to pull off an upset. Following the unexpected defeat, Drake openly vented his frustration, blaming Justin Bieber, which sparked a new chapter in what many call the Drake Curse. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment with your take on the story. Since Drake began supporting the Raptors from the sidelines, speculation arose that teams he endorsed or celebrities he was seen with were doomed to fail. It didn't take long for the term Drake Curse to gain popularity on social media, becoming a playful superstition implying that any athlete or team associated with the rapper would underperform. Some dismissed it as coincidence, while others found the pattern too compelling to ignore. For Drake, though, this phenomenon felt more like an affront to his love for sports and the sincerity of his fandom. Drake's ties to sports began in 2013 when he became the global ambassador for the Raptors, making his debut at the Air Canada Centre, now Scotiabank Arena, and sitting courtside in OVO black and gold. Shortly thereafter, the Raptors entered a losing streak. In 2016, he joined NFL Quarterbacks on Sunday's Best and hosted a tailgate party in Toronto, coinciding with the Blue Jays' decline from postseason contention. Every conference final he attended seemed to end in disappointment. In 2018, the Raptors lost Game 7 of the conference semifinals, and in 2019, just days after Drake entertained the crowd, Kawhi Leonard's iconic buzzer beater made history, leaving Toronto thrilled but fueling the curse theories. How could the curse persist when his beloved Raptors actually won the championship? This contradiction only added to the legend. Fast forward to May 2025. The Maple Leafs, chasing their long-awaited Stanley Cup, invited Justin Bieber to their most critical game of the season. A lifelong Leafs fan, Bieber sat courtside with Hailey, ready to tweet encouragement and document the moment on his phone. Rumors circulated that Drake, never one to stay on the sidelines, had placed a $1 million bet on their victory. Shortly after the final whistle, an Instagram story appeared on Drake's account. Simple white text on a black background reading Bieber Curse. The ellipsis ominously suggested that the worst was yet to come. Within just a few hours, the post gained massive popularity online. Hockey talk shows replayed Justin Bieber's cheers in slow motion, scrutinizing each of his jumps and fist pumps. Late-night hosts made jokes about celebrity bad luck, while fans debated whether Justin's presence was genuinely a jinx. Was Drake using the superstition to deflect blame onto his friend, or did he actually believe in it? Memes started to spread, showcasing Justin's smile alongside images of black cats, broken mirrors, and hockey pucks finding the net. Thus, the Bieber Curse was created. However, Drake didn't stop there. He shared a candid video clip from a longer interview with Stake, the betting platform. Sitting comfortably in a chair with an OVO flag behind him, Drake addressed the Drake Curse once and for all. "I feel like I don't play sports," he began, his tone relaxed. "So whether I pick the wrong team or not, if I could get out there and win for all your favorite teams, I would. But honestly, the Drake Curse is amusing to me." He shrugged, wearing an expression of playful acceptance. "I'm not a great sports bettor. I won't deny that. That's not my skill." Drake leaned in, his demeanor turning serious. "First of all, the Raptors won the championship," he reminded viewers. "So no one can talk to me about the Drake Curse. If there was a curse, Kawhi would have never made that shot, and we wouldn't have beaten the Warriors." Laughter erupted in the studio during the cutaway. Even in defeat, the 38-year-old star found humor in the situation. He then paused, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. "But it's funny, though," he confessed. With a mischievous grin, he added, "I'll let everyone enjoy their fun with it. I'm sure if you believe in the Drake Curse, there will be plenty more content in the future to support your theories, because for some reason, my bets don't seem to work out. But one day, I'm going to hit a crazy parlay. The video wrapped up with Drake's signature nod, suggesting that this story was far from over. In the days that followed, sports media scrutinized every word he said. Analysts debated whether Drake's charm could counteract superstition by simply switching his team loyalty. Sports psychologists discussed how celebrity influence might affect athletes' performance. Statisticians looked into game stats. Did teams actually perform worse when Drake was present? Some overly enthusiastic analysts even claimed to have found a 60% drop in win probability when Drake was cheering. Of course, correlation doesn't imply causation, but in the age of social media, a captivating story doesn't need proof. In the meantime, Justin Bieber embraced the role of the good-natured scapegoat. In a later Instagram post, he shared his hopeful outlook. "I can't recall a time when I wasn't a huge fan of the Leafs. This year, we've progressed further than we have in a long time, and that makes me happy. I can be patient because I believe this is the team that can make it happen." His heartfelt and honest remarks offered solace to disheartened fans, reminding them that true fandom is about enduring loyalty rather than immediate victories, even when it felt like luck was against them. On the other hand, sources indicated that there was no personal grudge behind Drake's jab at Bieber. "Drake's just having fun with the myth he's created," a source told Rolling Stone. "He knows it's all in good fun, but he's also aware that every time he plays into the curse narrative, it goes viral." Indeed, his cryptic Instagram story was shared by celebrities, athletes, and meme accounts alike, each adding their own spin to the Bieber curse. Fans compiled highlight reels that showcased Bieber cheering alongside the Panthers' goals, as if chronicling a series of bizarre occurrences. Even the Toronto Star published a lighthearted op-ed titled, "How Bieber Became Hockey's Unluckiest Athlete," lamenting that no one in the NHL was immune to this new celebrity curse. Yet beneath the humor, there was real tension. Drake had emotionally invested in the Leafs' playoff run. He donned the blue jersey, sang fight songs, and rallied his 150 million Instagram followers to back his hometown team. Losing $1 million bet on the outcome was not just a financial setback, it was a blow to his credibility as a fan. If the curse was genuine, then Drake was both its instigator and its victim. If it was all nonsense, then why did it seem so consistent? To understand the importance of a saga, it's helpful to examine the origins of celebrity jinxes in sports. From Michael Jordan's notorious flu game to David Beckham's injury woes, fans have long sought to identify patterns that explain unfortunate events. In Drake's case, these patterns aligned with his transition from pop icon to sports entrepreneur. His foray into the sports world began as a public relations strategy, attending games, promoting merchandise, and securing endorsements, but soon evolved into a genuine passion. He traveled with the Toronto Raptors on road trips, took part in NBA All-Star Weekend events, and visited locker rooms to celebrate victories. However, each time he appeared, it seemed like defeat was just around the corner. Critics argued that this phenomenon was to be expected. The more games someone attends, the greater the statistical likelihood of witnessing a loss. A fan attending thousands of games, along with the natural fluctuations in team performance, would inevitably experience some disappointing outcomes. However, this rationale did little to quell the rumors. In a world hungry for drama, the idea of the Drake curse became a fascinating topic. It turned into a term for any unforeseen failure. If Drake was in attendance, the chances of winning seemed diminished. In hip-hop communities, the story took on a unique twist. Battle rappers and underground artists reveled in the idea that a mainstream star like Drake could unintentionally disrupt their events simply by being present. Online discussions were filled with anecdotes about local rap battles falling apart when Drake was rumored to show up. City promoters joked that if Drake was on the guest list, they would need to enhance security and prepare backup plans. The myth continued to grow, weaving numerous tales into a rich legend. Yet, fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs, or any team Drake supported, found themselves in a strange situation. Should they celebrate their superstar fan, or resent his seemingly jinxing presence? Should they encourage him to skip future games, or buy more team merchandise to counteract the bad luck? In Toronto, this dilemma took on a broader significance. The city prided itself on its sports culture, and Drake was its most notable figure. If his presence brought misfortune, did that mean Toronto itself was cursed? Amidst all this, Sports psychologists shared their perspectives. Dr. Mara Levy, a fan psychology expert at the University of Toronto, pointed out that the curse reveals a deeper human inclination to seek order in chaos. When outcomes appear random or painful, we look for external forces to blame, she explained. Celebrity involvement offers a convenient scapegoat. Dr. Levy also noted that these narratives could affect athlete morale. If players start to believe in the myth, their confidence may wane, leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy. On the other hand, some athletes embrace the spectacle. Florida Panthers forwards made lighthearted remarks in press conferences about hoping not to see Drake in the stands during future games. Their coach, caught up in the excitement, even joked about installing Drake-proof plexiglass between their bench and the crowd. This playful banter only intensified the frenzy, turning the playoff series into a media spectacle filled with superstition. Throughout the entire situation, Drake successfully maintained a balance. He added to the story with lighthearted comments. His post about the Bieber Curse was cleverly straightforward, but he also recognized his own mistakes. In later interviews, he shared his first major bet, a small wager on the Raptors during a regular season game, which he lost, teaching him the hard lesson that enthusiasm alone doesn't ensure victory. I thought being the global ambassador meant I could sway the outcome, he admitted. I was wrong. Drake's honesty struck a chord with many. In a world where athletes and celebrities often project unshakable confidence, his acknowledgement of being a flawed sports bettor felt refreshingly sincere. He spoke about the thrill of the parlay, a series of interconnected bets that could greatly boost his winnings, and the allure of hitting that insane combination that would finally silence his critics. However, he understood that chasing those dreams could lead to a perilous cycle, blurring the line between passion and obsession. Financial experts also chimed in. $1 million bet on a single game represented only a small fraction of Drake's estimated net worth of over $200 million, but it underscored the risks tied to celebrity gambling. With fame came responsibility. Public figures wagering large sums on sports could unintentionally promote reckless behavior among impressionable fans. Betting companies, eager to capitalize on Drake's celebrity, bombarded him with offers and sponsorship deals, making it difficult to separate personal risk from promotional gain. In response, some grassroots initiatives called for clearer regulations. Fan-led petitions urged Ontario's Alcohol and Gaming Commission to restrict celebrity endorsements in sports betting. Others contended that Drake's transparency, by posting his bets on Instagram, was a move toward destigmatizing gambling and encouraging open conversations about its risks. As summer approached and the NHL playoffs progressed, the Drake curse entered a new phase. Analysts began tracking Drake's public appearances, rumored betting slips, and Instagram tags. Each time he attended a game, social media erupted with predictions of calamity. Some fans even organized curse-beater parties, watch-along events held in Drake's absence, featuring lucky rituals like wearing vintage jerseys and passing around a maple leaf-branded rabbit's foot. Drake actively participated in the conversation, sharing his thoughts on being a fan during interviews with ESPN's First Take and TSN's Off the Record. He expressed, "I care so deeply that it resonates within me. However, I recognize that the teams I support consist of real individuals, not fictional characters. Sometimes, you have to experience loss to genuinely understand the value of winning." He reminisced about attending a minor league hockey game in Saskatoon, where children cheered without shoes in the stands and local players signed autographs afterward. "That's the essence of hockey," he said, his eyes shining. "It reminded me of why I fell in love with the sport in the first place." In that moment, the so-called curse felt trivial compared to the broader theme of human connection. The small-town arenas, the unified chants, and the shared moments of triumph and defeat. Meanwhile, in Toronto, the Maple Leafs were regrouping, eager to move on from the disappointment of Game 7. In training rooms and locker room talks, coaches delivered motivational speeches, with some referencing Drake's own insights on resilience. Players created TikTok skits that humorously addressed the curse, turning superstition into motivation for their comeback. If Drake's presence posed a challenge, they were determined to face it together. Justin Bieber, on the other hand, kept a positive perspective. During a charity concert in Los Angeles, he performed an acoustic rendition of God's Plan, dedicating the final note to the Leafs. "We'll get him next time," he proclaimed, holding a maple leafs cap aloft. The crowd erupted in cheers, a collective affirmation that fandom goes beyond any curse. Ultimately, the enduring legacy of this situation may not hinge on wins or losses, but rather serves as a reminder that sports and art flourish on drama. Drake's million-dollar bet, Bieber's cheerful acceptance, the myth of the Drake curse, and the steadfast loyalty of fans all intertwine into a narrative that is far more intricate than the result of a single game. It's a story of community and folklore, where celebrity and superstition blend with the unpredictable nature of competition. Drake summed it up perfectly in a final Instagram live session. You can label it a curse or a narrative, but at the end of the day, it's all about passion. It's about showing up, having faith, and sometimes facing significant losses to learn how to achieve greater victories. And believe me, I'm watching the parlay that will change everything. Until then, I'll keep cheering, just maybe from the couch. With that, the Drake curse became part of sports folklore, both a humorous notion and a genuine source of intrigue, a story that continues to evolve. In sports, just like in music, the true magic lies not in guaranteed victories, but in the thrill of uncertainty. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.